You could argue that Geek Pride Day today, conceived in Spain back in 2006, is now a pretty redundant holiday. Indeed, with superhero movies, Ed Sheeran and Mark Zuckerberg dominating the world, lately it seems as though every day could be classed as Geek Pride Day. But if you do intend to celebrate the holiday in all its nerdy glory, then why not celebrate some of cinema's greatest geeks? From multi-billionaire tech boffins to teenage role players, here's a look at 10 you can currently view on Netflix. Rich Purnell, The Martian. Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, may be a cooler than cool double threat in real life. But he also truly convinced as the socially awkward scientist who helps to save the day in Ridley Scott's enjoyable sci-fi disaster movie. Brian Ralph Johnson, The Breakfast Club. By far the smartest of the 5 detentionies in John Hughes' classic coming-of-age movie, Brian Ralph Johnson is also the most relatable. Played by Anthony Michael Hall, the high school nerd provides the emotional crux of the movie as he reveals his struggles to deal with the weight of his teachers, parents and very own expectations. Doc Emmett Brown, Back to the Future trilogy. With his wild Einstein-esque hair, highly excitable nature, and crazy inventions, Doc Emmett Brown unarguably steals the show from Marty McFly & Co. in quite possibly the finest trilogy of all time. You can watch Christopher Lloyd's lovable mad scientist in all 3 of the Back to the Future films on Netflix, but if you've only got time for one, make it the early prescient 1989 sequel. Kate Libby, Acid Burn, Hackers. It's hard to determine what's aged more poorly in one of Hollywood's first movies to tackle the internet, the dodgy graphics or the fact that Angelina Jolie plays a computer geek. Of course, with her pixie bob and cyborg chic clothing, Kate Libby, Acid Burn was a little more fashionable than your average hacker, and yet she was no slouch when it came to unraveling a corporate extortion conspiracy either. Matt Farrell, Die Hard 4.0. The Die Hard franchise moved into the digital age in 2007 when John McClane teamed up with a teenage hacker for its belated 4th chapter. No stranger to nerdy characters, Justin Long, Jeepers Creepers, Dodgeball, Galaxy Quest played the geek in question, helping Bruce Willis's iconic action hero prevent a cyber-terrorist attack designed to bring the world into chaos. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Like Long, Michael Cera has also built a career on playing lovable geeks, see Superbad, Juno, Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist and so on, but his finest nerdy performance came in Edgar Wright's colorful and chaotic cult classic. Here, Cera plays the titular garage band bassist who must defeat the 7 evil exes of Mary Elizabeth Winstead's delivery girl in order to win her heart. Augie, role models best known for starring alongside Cera in Superbad. Christopher Mintz-Plasse is another movie nerd regular. McLovin may be his funniest creation, but medieval live-action role-playing fanatic Augie in this surprisingly heartwarming bromance comedy proved to be his most charming. Steve Jobs. Few nerds have been as successful, rich or as revered as the subject of Danny Boyle's Oscar-nominated biopic, one of 2 real-life figures on this list. The film follows the titular tech genius at just 3 pivotal points of his career: the launches for the Apple Macintosh, the Next computer and the iMac. Julian Assange, The Fifth Estate, portrayed by Benedict Cumberbatch. The other real-life geek here is certainly a lot more divisive than Steve Jobs. To some, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange is a crusader for truth who brought government abuses of power to light. To others he's an attention-seeking criminal who endangered lives across the world. Janie Briggs, Not Another Teen Movie, probably the best spoof to emerge in the wake of Scary Movie. This 2002 comedy had no option but to parody one of the teen movie genre's biggest cliches. Here Kyler Lee stars as Janie Briggs, an unpopular artistic outsider who blossoms from an ugly duckling nerd into a glamorous prom queen simply by taking her glasses off and putting on a dress. More, 10 great LGBT films with happy endings you should watch this week. More, the 10 best disaster films on Netflix. More, 10 new movies to watch on Netflix this May.